Hey everyone, in this episode, I'm going to be taking a look at Illumination's The Grinch, where we're talking about the cast, the characters, especially Max, and the story, and comparing it to the Jim Carrey 2000 version. All that and more in episode 91 of the Reel-ists podcast. Team Reel-ists, welcome back. If this is your first time, welcome. Either way, welcome. Welcome to joining to the Reel-ists podcast. We're here to talk about movies and also see certain aspects or certain parts of the film from a realistic standpoint, when applicable.
There you go.
There's the asterisk. But yeah, so today we'll be taking a look at Illumination's The Grinch.
Illumination!
That was actually recording actual audio from the movie, not Donnie at all.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
I wish I could do it that well.
Give it a try, Donnie. But before we go into this episode, we do want to just mention you can always engage with us on social media. We are on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Team Reel-ists. That's Team REELISTS. So please do so if you haven't done so already. You can also comment on YouTube as well on our episodes. And yeah, so we just wanted to mention that. And we do want to have our tribute to Stan Lee. Give a moment of silence for him. Rest in peace. Big contributor to the comic book world. And, big reason why we have the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So just wanted to honor him with these episodes for this week.
R.I.P. Stan Lee, wherever you are.
Now in happy place.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, we're going straight into The Grinch. It is going to be a spoiler discussion. So just remember that if you haven't seen it, and if you don't mind getting it spoiled, then stick around. But if you do not want to get spoiled, then go watch it. It's a short film, hour and 30 minutes. Doesn't take too much. And come back. Give us 2 views, just like that. You're contributing to a good cause. All right. So with all that being said, Donnie, let's going to open up the gates with his thoughts on it. What's your quick thoughts?
I liked it.
And there you go. Thank you very much, Johnny.
I really liked it. I was, okay, so The Grinch Who Stole Christmas, the 2000 live action version, one of my favorite, I wouldn't even say Christmas movies. It's one of my favorite movies in general, and definitely one of my favorite Jim Carrey movies, like top 3 Jim Carrey movies. It was so good. So I was going into this one, and I knew it wasn't going to be the same thing, obviously. It's like 2 different films, but around, the same premise, same storyline. But I was excited for it. The animation looked really good. From the trailer, it looked funny, and I knew Illumination was behind it, and I really loved Despicable Me. So I had really high hopes for it, and it really was a cute Christmas film. It really did deliver on what I thought it was going to deliver on. I thought the visuals it was just a beautifully created film. Like, the animation was so just beautiful. It was glossy. It was bright and vibrant. The colors, especially the Christmas colors, it just looked really nice on the big screen. Especially the Grinch and his sidekick Max. They were
sidekick. Just kidding. Star player, you mean? But okay.
Okay, sorry. The 2 main stars of the film, the Grinch and Max, were great. Max especially, just amazing. I know Oscar's gonna gush about him throughout this whole episode. But it was great, funny. Loved the chemistry between the 2 characters. Cindy Lou was a little cutie pie, and I just thought it was great. I loved it. It was pretty good.
Okay. I do want to ask, just because this is one that I think should be for a lot of people, but did you actually read The Grinch, the book from Dr. Seuss?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I did.
I don't recall if I did. I think I read other ones, but I think I only saw the movie.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So you can talk about the book.
Yeah. I mean, it was pretty much, there's not much to it. It follows the same premise. Like,
was the rhyming the same? Just kidding. But
a lot more rhyming in the book.
All right. So for those who are unfamiliar with this, Illumination presents The Grinch, or Dr. Seuss The Grinch, as they list it. It is about a grumpy Grinch who plots to ruin Christmas for the village of Whoville.
Oh, that sounds like Oscar.
And it was directed by Yarrow Chaney and Scott Moiser. starring Benedict Cumberbatch as the Grinch. And we have Rashida Jones as Donna Who, and Kenan Thompson as Mr. Brickle. Wait, it cut off in the last part. I don't know what his name is. Mr. Brickle something. Almost here. Getting it up. Mr. Brickle something. It cuts it off right when I was going to say his name. That was Bricklebum.
Ah, there we go.
There you go. New character. That's why.
Bricklebum.
That's why you don't recognize him. But yeah, so my thoughts on this movie, very similar to Donnie's. It's really, really good. It's enjoyable. It definitely gives you the Christmas vibes. Just the look of it, you kind of get in the spirit of it. So a great start to the holiday season. Mm-hmm. A much better start than the Nutcracker. This one definitely got you.
That. I'm just kidding.
The movie that must not be named. It was definitely much more family oriented that I think families look forward to. Now, and I've been telling this to people that have asked me, if you are intentionally going with the mindset that you're going to compare it to the 2000 version with Jim Carrey, then you're going to have a lot of disappointments.
Yeah. And I think, unfortunately, I mean, it's you can't compare because that was live action. This is animation. That was 18 years ago. This is now. So, I mean, a lot of differences. But I think I'd advise, if you have not seen this movie yet, just go into it not trying to compare it to the 2000 version.
If anything, rightfully
that would be
so,
my advice.
Compare it to the TV special that aired in the 90s.
Yeah, or something. Yeah,
I think that would be a little bit more appropriate. But and the reason why we say that is because the live action movie took a lot of liberties from the story from Dr. Seuss's actual book. This one was actually a little bit more faithful. It expanded a little bit more, but not too much, and it still kept the idea of why he's stealing Christmas, and why he's not happy with the people of Whoville. So that really does more of that spirit. But the plot line is still the same. He's angry, everyone's happy, Christmas arrives, he tries to steal everything, and the whole twist of it is that they can still find happiness without having their gifts and Christmas. So and the one thing I will say that I've noticed is that he wasn't as mean, and I don't know if that was intentional by Illumination to make him just misunderstood, but he definitely was not as evil.
He wasn't as grumpy, and he wasn't as cynical, and
he did some bad things, and he gets irritated easily, but he wasn't exactly like one that was out there like making people cry. If you've seen the advertisements though for this movie, like billboards everywhere, like those were more like Grinch stuff than the movie had.
Yeah, like those were the only parts I think where he really was like Grinchy, quote unquote Grinchy.
And the ad campaigns were
because he was a pretty likable character. I mean, the Grinch is we know the Grinch is supposed to be mean and he's trying to rob Christmas and take Christmas spirit and joy, but he still is kind of, in a sense, likable. And I think in this film, especially in this one, because he wasn't that cynical, he wasn't that dark as compared to Jim Carrey's one, where he was like do the evil laugh and like rub his hands together, and like he got pleasure and joy out of like seeing people, saddened.
Right.
It wasn't as prevalent in this.
What you see in the trailers and stuff is probably the most evil thing outside of stealing Christmas that he did. But yeah, I feel like the ad campaigns were more mean. I don't know if you've seen any of those like campaigns where it's just him and like a green billboard and he would say like a comment on something. I feel like those probably were more mean than the actual movie. But overall, this movie definitely still provides a good solid story. Yes, there's differences from the Jim Carrey one, and I feel like that probably is where a lot of negative light is going on this movie, is that you're gonna be like, oh, I liked the 2000 version better, which is fine. I know Donnie prefers that one, and there's nothing wrong with which one you prefer. It's funny though still that this movie is, the Grinch property is the two highest Christmas movies and box office wise. So we love the Grinch for the holidays.
Yeah, we do.
So animated or live action. Although to be fair, the animated has made more money, but that's before you consider inflation. So
correct, Demundo.
But yeah, so pretty cool. As Donnie hinted and mentioned pretty clear that the star of this movie is Max.
For you.
For me. For me and maybe
No,
many
for a
others.
lot of people. For a lot of people, he was the star of this
He was, well, one, he was really well animated. He was just a very, very lovable dog, and he had a lot of facial expressions. He didn't talk, but yet you still understood what he was, feeling, and you understood his happiness, his love for the Grinch. Mm-hmm. He still had his dog moments when he wanted to get on the bed, and when he got upset at the Grinch, and he would go storm off to his little bed. A lot of things that were awesome, and I don't know if it's Illuminations had some practice with the Secret Life of Pets to kind of get pet behavior and dogs down, but
yeah,
they really did Max perfect.
They really did. It was great.
I wish Max was real, because I would want to go see him. He would be the character I'm standing in line for 50 minutes just to say hi to if he was real.
He definitely takes the cake. Sorry, I said Kate and then I said cape. I couldn't get the word out. He definitely takes the cake for the best dog between the two films, between the live action and this one. This Max and this animation in this animated version was amazing.
Yeah.
Not to say that the real dog in the live action version wasn't. It's just he was a real dog,
Right.
But this one was just, the facial expressions, like you just knew everything he was thinking, and was so great. Is I think what we all love about Max, and it just speaks to like a dog's
best friend, or like dogs.
A dog's nature is that they're just so loyal. So it's like the Grinch is trying to pull off this like really elaborate, mean, dark scheme, and Max is like 100% down for it. Like he's like, it's you and me, Grinch. Like, I'm your dog, you're my owner. Like, I'm gonna ride for you till the end. So it's like and there's such a naivete but also like such a loyalty that's just so sweet and admirable about Max. Max is just great.
They should have shown the origin of how Grinch got Max, because I feel like that would have been nice.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
Like, why did he accept him? But yes, to me, Max makes this movie memorable for me down the road. I feel like I'm going to watch this movie just for Max. I'm hoping there's a special feature on Max. I want Max t-shirts.
I know, right?
Plush cups.
I would be shocked if there wasn't like some type of special feature or bonus clip or short or something at all, like just Max, because he was a big takeaway for the film.
He was.
It was a big draw.
Yeah. It was. And you could just look at from the trailer, you get a lot of that like expression and stuff like that. But yeah, it's really, really awesome.
Even I'm even thinking of the scene where the Grinch is waking up and Max is supposed to like get all his coffee, and and even when he was elevated up to the Grinch's floor, and he was reversing he was backing up. He had the tray on his head and he was backing up to where the Grinch could reach it. And the way he was backing up and kind of looking up, and like you could even see on his face, he was concentrated on making sure that the tray was staying steady and he didn't drop anything. And it's such there's no significance in that scene or anything, but even the detail in that, like what they did with his face, it's just amazing.
Yes. I mean, I can sit here and talk about Max and all the scenes for days. I should have a separate episode, a solo episode.
Oh, wow.
An admiration of it. But yeah, no, he really, to me, was the standout. He was what I was looking forward to. And I was really happy that he was in the movie as long as the Grinch was. Practically, if the Grinch was in the movie or in the scene, Max was there.
There was also another animal that we loved. Well, that I loved, at least. That we meet,
yeah.
What was his name?
It was a human, like Brian, wasn't it? It was like a human name. It wasn't.
Was it?
Yeah.
He was a.
You're talking about the reindeer, right?
No, was he a reindeer? No, the really big, fluffy.
Yeah, that was a reindeer.
He was supposed to be a reindeer?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I missed that part.
I think it was Brian. It had to be a Brian.
Okay.
Was it Brian, Ruben?
I think it was.
Fact checked. Let's just say it was.
Continue we'll go with that. But even he was a great character too. I mean, he was just like you could tell he wasn't as like smart as Max. You could definitely see that, but he was like, he was just cute, and he was big, and it was one of those instances, I think, where like he didn't realize just how big and bulky he was, because he'd like jump on the bed with the Grinch and Max.
Fred.
Like,
name is Fred.
Fred. Brian, Fred. I can kind of see that.
I mean, to me, it was a little disappointing with the movie. I think when we saw the name, we were just like, oh, that's That's the name. I don't know. I felt like it could have been an opportunity to really, we have Grinch, Cindy Lou, Max, and then
Fred. Forgettable.
Right. for this movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
But there was, I liked him. Or like when they were walking in the snow and they were like, him and Max were kind of trying to tiptoe, and then he just comes like, boom, 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 like through the snow, and it was just really funny.
This is the loudest slide. But no, and it's actually we say that because that was also funny, and the movie had a lot of funny moments. It wasn't like this was one that you're yawning and you're falling asleep halfway through. As a family film, it entertains on all ages. It really is one that you can enjoy. The kids will enjoy for the obvious gags, and the parents will enjoy for like the subtle ones. And I feel like Mr. Bricklebum is a perfect example with his love for Christmas, because most likely you either know someone like that or you just feel like that's how everyone is. His character was actually a really funny one as well, with his just pure passion for Christmas, and he had just a always positive enthusiasm. I thought he was another standout.
Right.
I feel like it was Max and then Mr. Bricklebum. Yeah.
What a name too.
Right?
Bricklebum.
See, and then you have that, but then you have Fred. So it's like, I feel like that one was short. And Fred was a new character, so we can't say like it was from the books or anything. But yeah, so it really was an overall entertaining film. Animation was on point. Illumination really has that down. They are able to create a world that was very vibrant and colorful.
Very much so.
And I don't know if you did, but like I found myself often looking around, like the scenes they were in, just to kind of really take into look at just like how well this place has been created. And it was really nice. And I feel like the Jim Carrey one, that one was kind of like, I know it was sets and stuff, but it felt like it was a little bit more fantasy. This one was a little bit more subtle on that, and it actually felt a little bit more realistic. So yeah,
I feel like one of the things that kind of it didn't take me out of it, but one of the things I noticed was that I feel like the Who's in general, they weren't so similar to like the original, like with the whole pointy nose, kind of mousy looking. I feel like it was like in comparison to the Jim Carrey one, like they were Who's, like you could see they had all the distinct Who feature, whereas in the animated one, I feel like you could almost skate by
thinking it's a person,
thinking that it's just a normal person, which I didn't care for. I wish they would have made him more Who-like.
Some people actually found the Jim Carrey Who's
a little disturbing.
Yeah,
and to be honest, I did too at first. A little like, it's like it's because because they're real people, and but I look back on it and I love it. Like I love it. It's just like, because it is. I mean, they are real people, like you said. They were sets, but I loved that. I mean, like they created this world, and it wasn't CGI, and it wasn't. It was the real deal. Like everything was built up, and all the costumes and the characters and the prosthetics and the makeup were, and Jim Carrey walking around in a full functioning like green suit. It wasn't like he had on like, all these, like when they do CGI, how they put all the wire things on you, or like the costume. The balls, it was like he had to sit in the makeup chair for hours and hours every day. It's like, I loved that. You can't. It's hard to. You can't. I'm not trying to compare that to this one because this is animation, so it's like it's different. But I'm just saying I really do.
But even that, the animation has a wider net to play with, because you can create it and you don't have to worry about restrictions of like what's a safety hazard or what, like that kind of stuff.
True.
So and surprisingly, it stayed very subtle. It didn't really branch into like this like big fantasy location that the movie did.
You could have told me they were in like
Detroit, Michigan. I don't know, like some.
What's that place that people go to ski at in the wintertime? It's like Aspen. Yeah, you could have told me they were like in Aspen, and I would have been like, oh, okay, I would have believed it probably. Like it's not like I would have been like, oh my god, that's Whoville. They're in Whoville.
Yeah.
So that's probably like the only.
And even the mountain wasn't as like whimsical
high
as
up, as
the movie was.
Yeah, because in the movie it was like super, super high in altitude, overlooking the entire, like Whoville looked like a little dot probably, as he was up there. Whereas this one, it was like, it seemed like it wasn't as...
It was a moderate distance, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't like that, grand.
Where Cindy Lou can, what is it, like, what do they call it? Tube? Like the tube and... not skiing, but like
sled,
yeah, there you go. Like that kind, she can do that, which kind of didn't make sense unless she was carrying it upwards. But it wasn't like she wanted to meet the Grinch, or she wanted to invite the Grinch in the same way that the Jim Carrey movie did. It's very interesting. That actually caught me off guard, because I thought, given that the Jim Carrey one kind of becomes the standard over the TV special, even though the TV special is more authentic to the book. I kind of was expecting that, and to not see that was a little surprising, to be like, oh, Cindy Lou does not really have much connection to the Grinch until like the third act.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. And I don't know. I liked her story. I liked her individual goal for her mom, her Christmas gift for her mom. I thought that was really touching. It was really nice to see, but to me, like this is trying to make it one of those like personal messages to, real life, for people out there in real life watching the movie. And I don't know if kids are going to really cling to that. Like, I feel like kids are not going to be like, I want to do that for my parents too. I feel like it's still going to be more of just like
that was her only Christmas wish.
Right. I feel like most kids...
You didn't want like new skates, or you didn't want... Yeah. I mean, it was beautiful that she was that selfless, and that she thought of her mom.
Very touching.
That much, but
for adults to appreciate. But I feel like kids are still going to be like, no,
What little kid are you... Ruben's laughing at me, but like... What little kid do you know that's going to be that selfless, especially about Christmas time? I don't want anything for Christmas. All I want is... I'm not trying to be mean, but I'm just saying, like,
it's true. It's true. Like kids at that age, and she was aged younger than the movie one too. But this one, she was like what, 6-ish about, and the movie one was more like 9-ish, 12. Yeah.
Between there, something like that.
So she was younger enough, and to have that was very, very kind of her. I think a lot of parents, or even adults overall, would just kind of more of like, man, if kids were like this, that'd be awesome. Because she was like a great child. Like she was helpful with her siblings. She was smart and she was
considerate. Yeah, she was giving, and she was
very, very awesome.
Empathetic.
So it's like that's what the kids need, but the kids are not going to see that. The kids are still going to be like, I want the latest video game.
I want the new iPad.
Right. Or if you get to your teens, I want a car so I can drive my friends. It's never going to end. Never going to end. But yeah, it was really nice to see that. And I just feel like the message, I know that one maybe would have been for the parents probably, and adults understood that more and the meaning to that more. But I feel like for kids, it's going to go over their heads. I don't think any kid is going to be like, that movie made me realize I should do that too.
Yeah, probably not. But they for sure will be entertained, I'm sure.
Yes. And if anything, like the smart kids are going to be like, let me say this out loud to my mom so that she gets me the iPad I want.
They're going to use it to their advantage.
Right. But yes, great, nice subplot, I would say. So Donnie, with that being said, was there any particular scene that you really enjoyed that you would watch again?
Yeah, I really liked the scene where I don't quite remember what he was doing, I think, but he was like saying he put on weight. And he was like, I don't know why, what could have happened that I'm putting this weight on? And then they showed these clips of him just like gorging himself in food and like shoveling spaghetti and meatballs into his mouth. I was laughing. I thought that was like so funny. Like, and even I remember they showed that in the trailer too, but, that was like probably one of my favorite scenes because it was just really, really hilarious. And then I really also loved the scene where they were where Max was on the drums trying to play drums, and the Grinch like scolded him and told him like, go away or something, and he like looked back and he like hit the cymbal with his paw like as a like last like kind of like you meanie, and hit the cymbal with his paw and walked off. I thought that was just one of the most cutest little moments in the movie. That scene is one of my favorites too. Just him trying to do his solo, and he was like getting pumped. He was like, "Yeah, he was so into it." He was like, "I like this. Let me contribute. I don't know what to do." But at first, I thought he knew what he was doing, but then I kind of saw that he was like just more making sound. And the Grinch being so mean. If there's one person you should not be mean to, is Max. You can't be mean to Max. It's your ride or die.
Right. And I'm happy he apologized.
Yeah.
He deserved to apologize. But yes, no, I'm right on there with you. That was actually one of my favorite scenes. My other favorite scene, actually, to be honest, every Max scene was my favorite scene, equally.
Okay.
Does it look to my fan of Max? I don't think so.
No, not at all.
Not at all. But the scene was when he was being promoted to lead the sleigh. And the Grinch was like giving his like, you are the most loyal, and you know, he's like buckling up and like getting all proud and like starting to get, you know, teary eyed about this, you know, emotional speech that he's getting from his owner, from the Grinch. That one was really awesome, just adorable. The other one was when he was trying to pull the sleigh and he went in the snow. And he went like deep in, and then he was still pulling it. He still managed to come out and pull it.
Yeah.
Man, Max was legit when I tell you that. I'm still gonna go get that plush. I'm gonna go to Universal Studios. They sold me. That was their intention. It was made by Universal, and they sold me. I want to go to Universal Studios now.
Yep.
So I can go see Max.
Go revisit.
Not even go see it. To go buy the plush toys. Go on the tour and be like, where are we stopping at Max's house? I want to see Max. But yes. So with all that being said, Donnie, what do you give this movie?
I give it a 3.5. I thought it was a great animated film, a great Christmas film. I know kids and families, not even just kids, but families, adults, everyone's going to love it. Especially if you like The Grinch. If that's your thing, you're going to love this version of it.
I don't see it replacing the Jim Carrey one, but I see it being an addition to.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think it's gonna. I think the Jim Carrey one is still the favorite one for many people, but I do think a lot of people do really thoroughly enjoy this one as well. I feel like this one's a lot more kid friendly, and it won't be so as off putting to like the little ones as maybe the Jim Carrey one might do.
Right.
But I thought it was great. The animation was beautiful. The storyline was interesting. I mean, you know, it was the same, pretty similar to if you've seen one Grinch, you've seen them all pretty much.
True,
but
yeah.
Max was great, and it was just a solid film. I wasn't disappointed, and I would watch it again. I would for sure watch the Jim Carrey one first, but if I didn't have access to that one, I would put this one on. Especially
you ain't gonna have access. You're gonna have only access.
Sure of that, huh? But yeah, I'd give it a solid 3.5.
Okay, awesome. I'm actually right there with you. Despite my love for Max, and despite, you know, this being a Max podcast episode centric, but no, it really had a lot of great things about it. Good things to say. Not too much negatives about it, and the only thing that I feel like was missing from this movie was just more things that made the Grinch more defined as the Grinch that we know. This one felt like a little soft telling of the story, and I feel like Illuminations played it safe, and I would have loved them to take a little bit of a risk for this movie to really be able to play with animation and use that to its full advantage. And they got creative when he was stealing, you know, the gifts and stuff. But I feel like they stayed it too simple and safe, which was perfect for, you know, family movies. But given that it's animation, I feel like they had a little bit more muscle to flex that they just were nervous about and they were shy. Mm-hmm. So to me, that's probably a thing that was really unfortunate about it. I loved some of the new additions that they brought in, but I felt like they shoved some of their own characters for that. Specifically the Grinch and Cindy Lou. Mm-hmm. We didn't get enough of them. I feel like they were just supporting roles rather than the main stars, and I feel like they should have been the main stars that you see more so, and you were satisfied with them. But it's understandable, short time frame of a movie. So there are things that they started to do nicely, but I feel like they just were missing a few things to make it an excellent movie that could have replaced the Jim Carrey version for many. And whether this is a new movie for a new set of generation that they're going to look back and say this is their preferred ones, that's to be determined. But I feel like the missing components were why a lot of people still find the Jim Carrey one a little bit more satisfying, because you still think of more Jim Carrey stuff because of the things he said or the things he did that this new one was missing. Like there's very few things that were memorable from the Grinch himself, but 3.5.
I feel like he got so slept on too, like with his performance of that Grinch. Like I feel like that should have been an Oscar-nominated performance. I really do. I really do. If you really, I mean, sorry, this is so random. I know I'm bringing it up, but as you were talking about it, I started thinking about it. Like, wait, he really like took that role and just ran with it and was so animated and so lively and so just, but kept it so grinchy and dark and cynical, but also hilarious. Like, there is no, like, you talk about sometimes only one specific actor could have played that role. Like, I can't think of another comedic actor that could have done that and had that much of an impact.
Yeah.
So,
and I think the reason why that performance in that movie didn't get a lot of that was just the critic ratings, which both critics for this movie and the Jim Carrey one were equally the same in terms of like negative and positives. Mm-hmm. But I feel like that was the reason why the movie didn't get nominated for many of the things. I don't even know if it did get even nominated for visuals. I don't even know if it did.
I don't even know. I'd have to check the archives.
But that's what I would say would be the reason why he didn't get nominated, was just that the overall movie wasn't satisfying for everyone, I guess. I don't know. Very odd.
All right. Sorry to just randomly interject that in there, but
so Ruben, make sure you put that this is the Jim Carrey's Dr. Seuss The Grinch Who Stole Christmas / Illumination Grinch. What is your score, since you did see it as well, Ruben? What is your score for this movie? Because I know you really liked it. You really did like it.
I said 4.
4. He says 4.
Wow. All right.
Just out of curiosity, Donnie says he prefers the Jim Carrey one. I feel like I don't really have an opinion on it, mainly because of Max. Max is kind of winning me over with this new Grinch. But do you know which one you would prefer? If you had to choose, you'd prefer this one.
Wow.
So that just goes.
That's enough out of Ruben.
That just goes to show you, it's kind of in that, like, you know, it's going to be different for everyone. Yeah,
it is.
It's going to be different for everyone.
It is. I respect your decision and your opinion.
But we're going to talk about this when the podcast goes on. All right. But hopefully, everyone, you had similar thoughts as me and Donnie and Ruben. Hopefully, you enjoyed this one at the very least. And hopefully, you saw it, because, you know, why not support a holiday Christmas movie? And who doesn't love The Grinch?
Exactly.
And Max. I think everyone's going to love Max now at this point moving forward. It's going to be, if he gets a spinoff, I would buy that movie, like, in advance, pre-order my ticket.
And make all of us pre-order tickets
right.
too.
Like, you're pre-ordering that ticket. Oh, that'd be cool if they gave him a short. Okay, I'm not going to fantasize anymore. But, yes, thank you, everyone, for tuning into this episode.
Thank you very much.
Till next time.